all the other stations in town are owned by the big conglomerates,
Yes.
CBS, what is Tegna now? I forgot what they call that, but they're all owned, Fox, and those become big corporate giants. And with the Hubbards upstairs, we've gotten like answers right away, and we've done stories and innovation and things that the other stations can't do. So I always thought working for a local owner was really a great advantage. And on top of that, the Hubbards are good people. They really treat people well. And my wife and I, once again, we've had some pretty good conversations. We always said this. We always said if any of our kids ever got sick or we ever really needed something, we knew the Hubbards would have our back. And I can guarantee you, if you work for one of the big corporate giants, you're a number there. They're going to look at the numbers and see how much money it's going to cost you, and they'll get rid of you.
Yeah. And Joe, certainly you've seen the relationships with the local teams also change over the decades. I remember when I was at Channel 4 and I talked to the old photog Al Crocker, and he would tell me stories about flying on the Minnesota Vikings team jet to wherever they played on the road and then rushing the film back to get it processed. And it's not as cozy anymore, is it, with reporters, TV, newspaper, radio folks with the teams? They keep us at bay, don't they?
Oh yeah, we used to fly with the team all the time, and that was really great because it was, basically first class flying. You get all the food. We got the same food that the players got, and it would be like incredible how much food you'd get after a game. And we'd eat all this food. I mean, they would bring, and it would be like steak and lobster would be the post-game meal on an airplane. But then you'd get cheeseburgers when you walked on, and they had pop and soda and beer, whatever you wanted to. And then these guys would get done. We'd landed. They'd say, "Where are we going to eat?" "Well, let's go to Murray's." We'd be like, "Going to eat? I can hardly move." But I think the other thing that's changed, Eric, quite frankly, is the teams now basically compete against us. They have their own media. They want clicks on their website. They want clicks on their social media. They have their own shows. As a matter of fact, the Vikings Entertainment Network, certainly is the biggest sports department in town. And so that has changed. And then the athletes themselves, they all have their people. Back in the old days, I can remember going in the locker room and interviewing Tommy Kramer. There'd be a group around Tommy Kramer. Now the quarterback's protected. He talks twice a week and only twice a week. Things have changed, but what business hasn't changed today?
Yeah, for sure. I remember those days at Mankato. Boy, we ate with the players, if you recall, back in the day. Steak and lobster, day one, always in Mankato, right? That was the go-to. Joe, your fondest memories covering what? What sticks out in your mind over these 40 years? I know what it does for me, obviously the 2 World Series, but 87 and 91. But what sticks out in your mind for you?
I will say, the 2 World Series were incredible. The homecoming in 87 was incredible. But I decided to kind of look at it a little bit differently because those are really obvious. And yes, those were great. But, in 1991, we had everything here. We had the U.S. Open, we had the World Series, we had the Super Bowl, we had the Stanley Cup Finals. We had it all here within one calendar year. That was incredible. But I also got to cover the Little League World Series. And I got to go to Cooperstown several times for a home.
Better when I'm older, I'll be the greatest part of your life.
Coaches, sometimes it's the PR guys, and sometimes it's the trainers and the staff, because you're around those guys all the time. You guys, Bob Hagan, I've spent more time with Bob Hagan than I've done like my, closest friends in the world. And Bob's become a close friend because of that. So that's what I kind of think it all boiled down to, the relationships and the really good stories that you were able to tell and lucky enough to tell.
And Joe, you might be walking away, but you're going to have your fingers in a lot of different things and be working on documentaries. And I know you have the Joe Mauer book. But can you put into perspective what Sid Hartman did from a longevity standpoint, where he writes a column until the end, age 100. I think, that's the bar of longevity, isn't it?
Sid was amazing, and I can remember the younger Sid when he's still at his fastball. He could be pretty incorrigible, and he was so dang competitive. I can remember, speaking of Tommy Kramer, I remember Rob Lear and Sid Hartman one time were interviewing Tommy Kramer after a game. And Sid, of course, liked to get his stupid big microphone with his tape recorder that was about that big. And he had it up there. And Rob was mad because Sid Here's my ultimate Sid story. Sid was 98, covering the Vikings. And you guys both know when you take the elevator down from the press box at U.S. Bank Stadium, you got about 50 yards to walk to get to the press conference room.
Right.
I'm on the elevator with Sid. Sid has a walker by now. And I'm standing next to Bob Sansevier. All of a sudden, the elevator door opens. We're walking towards the Vikings locker room. All of a sudden, Sansevier looks at me. He goes, "We better speed up. Sid's pulling away from us." As God is my witness, Sid in his walker was walking faster than Sansevier and I, 40 years younger than he was. Crazy.
And it's all true. Every one of the Sid stories you hear is true. Oh, boy. Well, Joe, I know you got some speaking engagements that you do, as well as the book and some other things coming up. Best of luck. We appreciate you stopping by, and appreciate the partnership that you gave me when we started the magazine back in the day, and all the good things that we've seen together here over the years.
Well, a salute to you two guys. You guys are hustlers, and you go out there the way you do it in the media, in today's new media world. You don't do it without hustling and loving the sport and having a passion for it. So the years. Sometimes people think it's a little more glamorous than it is, but congrats to you guys too.
All right.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. He is Joe
Thank
Schmidt,
you,
longtime sports anchor and sports director at KSTP TV and radio. He did for a while over there as well. More here on 10,000 Takes after this time.
Great touchdown. Can I have a quick word with you? You are in jeopardy of failing my class.
Takes continues along. Our thanks to Joe Schmidt for joining us during his final week as a regular sportscaster over at Channel 5. Joe is leaving right in the midst of a Twins season that, boy, I tell you, up and down, in and out. But the up part has been interestingly catapulted by guys that most Twins fans probably never heard of. Roger Clemens' kid is part of the Twins.
Cody.
Yes, Cody Clemens. One guy that they have heard of course, who's finally awakened, Carlos Correa. He's starting to hit. But this has been a really strange season. I mean, they've been really bad, and then they've been really good.
Yeah, lately they've gotten hot. And, to sweep the L.A. Angels, that was a huge weekend for the Minnesota Twins.
Oh.
And they won 2 out of 3 previously against the Chicago White Sox. They began the week with a thumping of
All
your
right.
Cleveland
All
Guardians.
right.
In
Enough.
fact, I was at part of that Angels game Friday. They put up 11, which for this Twins team is, epic.
That's like 4 or 5 games worth.
Well, then they put another 11 on the board in Cleveland. So maybe these bats are heating up with the weather. Correa could not possibly keep hitting 170. Carlos Correa is much too good for that. And I think historically he tends to start slow with the bat. Byron Buxton also, he's out there playing. That's the good news. And boy, I'll tell you what, his warp speed is so much fun to watch. At the Friday game, he goes oppo, he hits a ball down the right field line, and it's a stand-up triple. I mean, it wasn't even close that he wasn't going to get to third base. We've seen him use his speed on different occasions already. He saved a win against the Chicago White Sox, and then on Sunday he gets the day off. Harrison Bader goes to center field, and he turns into Buxton with a sprawling grab to rob Tyler Ward of the Angels. So, and let's not forget, Joe Ryan was brilliant last Sunday. Bailey Ober started the road trip off on a good note. And the bullpen's starting to get a little better.
Well, they get better when your starting pitchers don't have to pitch as much.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
that's the key. And the other thing is when you score some runs, it takes some heat off of your pitchers. So there's a lot that goes into it. I wonder if the Twins discovered those torpedo bats. Maybe that's what's helping them.
Get a shipment, yeah.
Do any of them have you noticed any of them using the
I
torpedo
don't know.
bat?
I haven't heard any buzz about it. I would think that would be major news here that the Pohlads, wrote a check and got the torpedo bats into the dugout. I think, but maybe Trevor Larnach's using one. He had some pop in the homestand, and
well, we don't want to credit the actual Twins players. We want to credit the
well, they're in a division where they should be able to compete. Detroit is good. I think Cleveland's good, but they're not elite.
No, not an
Kansas
elite
City's
division.
good too, but not elite.
All right, well, we're going to find out if you have an elite take and takes of the day. That's coming up next. Stay with us.
Finding the ideal place to stay is important for business travelers. Lakeville, Minnesota is conveniently located off I-35, just south of the Twin Cities with a variety of hotel choices. Lakeville offers convenient amenities such as shopping, walking trails, golf, and more. Our unique meeting spaces, historic...
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? Well, with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills. Wait, did I say job title yet? Get started today and see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
At Wells Fargo, we know what got you into your business. Whether it's manufacturing, running a restaurant, or your business from home. What you didn't get into your business for was banking. But luckily, Wells Fargo offers business checking, payments, and lending all in one place.
Resulting from globalization and technological change. As it stands, Minnesota's adult workforce will not be able to accommodate the employee needs of employers. Nearly 1 in 5 Minnesotans over age 25 do not have a high school diploma, and many who do still lack the basic skills necessary for employment. Learning to read is fun and essential. Reading Out Loud Literacy is sponsored by City of Minneapolis Community Trauma Response Fund.
10K Takes on television as we wrap up yet another episode. Big shout out to the viewers in the Twin Ports and the Twin Cities, up and down the I-35 corridor. And they're soon going to find out what your mood is. Takes of the day: angry American, cranky Yankee, beaming brownie with Shadur Sanders. Now, what is it?
Oh, boy, please. Well, I don't know if you've had a hoop in your driveway shooting baskets when you were a kid, or you had one for your kids. I know I always had one growing up, and I had one for my kids. Heck, I still have one now. Well, there is a conflict going on in the city of St. Louis Park. A family put a hoop up, and they had a new family move in next door about a year ago. And the family who moved in next door, not happy with the basketball hoop. And as a matter of fact, they made them move it. It was 6 inches too close to the property line. So the Moding family, Lily Moding and her family, they moved it off of that 6-inch line, moved it closer into their own property. Well, now they have filed a temporary injunction, and they filed a lawsuit against the city of St. Louis Park and against the Moding family. Are you kidding me? So they're two young boys, if this temporary injunction goes through, will not be able to shoot baskets in their own driveway because the neighbors are upset that they'll have to fetch the ball in their yard. Are you kidding me? Get a life, next door neighbor in St. Louis Park. There's been no comment thus far from the neighbors, but yes, they have filed a lawsuit, and they are trying to prevent kids from shooting hoops in their own driveway. Unbelievable.
As the great Dick Enberg once said, oh my.
Yes.
Yeah, he's peeking the red. He's an angry American. For good reason.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. All right.
All right, well, my take of the day, look, if you want good amusement and theater, reading newspapers online, let me suggest going to the New York Post. Now, a lot of what they have is sensationalism, and I certainly don't agree with a lot of their viewpoints. But I happened to check out the New York Post earlier this week, and boy, it entertained me for a good hour. There's a big splashy article on Brett Favre. There's going to be a Netflix special. Jen Sturger, the gal he texted, former Jets sideline reporter, says he ruined her life.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And so I'm reading these articles, and they're juicy, and they're deep, and they're full of all of this and all of that. And then they got the splashy headline for Bill Belichick, 73 years old, and his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, who's 24. And the article talks about how, according to sources, Jordan is controlling Bill Belichick. The ultimate control freak is now being controlled by his young gal pal. I got to tell you, the New York Post, sometimes, if you just want to laugh and be entertained, check it out, nypost.com. I can't believe I'm giving them a free plug, but I just did.
I hope they write us a check.
Yeah. All right, we got to go. Thanks for tuning us in. This is 10K Takes, your sports ticket.
Do you know that there is only one God in three eternal persons, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit? Do you know that Jesus said he is the only one?
Something happens when I hold her. She keeps my heart from getting older. When the days get short and the nights get a little bit colder, we hold each other. We hold each other. We hold each other. Everything looks different now. All this time my head was down. He came along and showed me how to let go. I can't remember where I'm from. All I know is who I've become. That I love has just begun my go. Something happens when I hold him. He keeps my heart from getting broken. When the days get short and the nights get a little bit frozen, we hold each other.
Air Fryer Grill, brought to you by TriStar Products Incorporated. Are appliances taking over your kitchen? Toasters, air fryers, grills, deep fryers. So many appliances taking up so much kitchen space. What if there was one appliance that replaces all of these that you'd be excited to use every day? Well, now there is. Introducing the all-new 8-in-1 Power XL Air Fryer Grill.
Power XL. Life keeps you busy. We help you excel.
The following is a paid program for the Power XL Air Fryer Grill, brought to you by TriStar Products Incorporated. Are appliances taking over your kitchen? Toasters, air fryers, grills, deep fryers. So many appliances taking up so much kitchen space. What if there was one appliance that replaces all of these that you'd be excited to use every day? Well, now there is. Introducing the all-new 8-in-1 Power XL Air Fryer Grill. Now, for the first time ever, you can char grill an enormous amount of food and air fry your favorites all at the same time. Make fries that are so crunchy. And 6 huge, juicy char-grilled burgers that are stuffed with ooey-gooey cheese. Now you can make healthier, complete meals, super fast, that your family will love. You can save up to 70% less calories from fat and still enjoy fried foods guilt-free. The entire grill plate heats up to a searing 450 degrees. This, combined with superheated cyclonic air, gives you char-grilled results indoors with virtually no smoke. Grilled fish, chicken, and ribs. This is an air fryer, grill, rotisserie, convection oven, pizza oven, griddle, deep fryer, toaster oven, all in one. Now you know him as America's favorite on-air TV chef. Eric Thies is a successful author and culinary expert. On today's show, Eric and co-host Stephanie Roberts will go head-to-head with all the appliances we replace. And watch what happens when we have a cook-off against the Ninja Foodie Grill and the New Wave Bravo. The results are incredible.
You know, truly, I'm super excited to introduce the Power XL Air Fryer Grill.
So I've seen air fryers and I've seen grills, but I've never seen one that does both at the same time.
It does both. It air fries and it grills and a whole lot more. And that's the very reason these manufacturers don't want you to know about it, because they wouldn't be able to sell you this and this and that and that and that and that. Over $1,000 worth of appliances. Ours happens to be better, faster, cheaper, more efficient, and that's why this is the only appliance you will use every single day. Power XL is known as America's #1 brand of air fryers. Look at our beautiful cook and look window. We cooked our fries with our cyclonic air. Up to 70% of calories from fat gone. They're crispy.
And they're crunchy.
And what about the inside?
Piping hot and delicious.
I like that. So here's tray number 2.
Oh, wow.
So we did a whole pile of fries.
It's a lot of food.
Now we're doing a whole pile of onion rings. Look at the amount of food that we did. That's just 2 layers, okay?
There's more?
Our grill plate gets up to 450 degrees. So we can sear our steaks just as good as a very expensive outdoor barbecue.
I can't believe you grilled something that looks that amazing at the same time you air fried all the onion rings and french fries.
Well, you better believe it. I just did it right in front of you. What do you think? Now, let's look at Mr. $300 air fryer over here.
Okay.
We did some onion rings. We did them for the same amount of time we did in our air fryer. Look at the amount of food. We were able to cook probably 6 times more food than they did. And we could grill and air fry at the same time. All they can do is air fry one thing at a time. Now we want to talk about steaks. In order to get grilled steaks like that, I'd have to go out to the barbecue. Look at those grill marks. They're perfect. The reason they're perfect, look how deep our ridges are here. It gives us airflow all the way around the steak. Plus, we get temperatures up to 450 degrees, and that's the sear you need to get that result. You ready for some breakfast?
Most important meal of the day.
I made 6 sandwiches all at once. Look at those grill marks. I was able to grill those and air fry them at the same time. Look at this.
6 English.
Power XL. Life keeps you busy. We help you excel.
The following is a paid program for the Power XL Air Fryer Grill, brought to you by TriStar Products Incorporated. Are appliances taking over your kitchen? Toasters, air fryers, grills, deep fryers. So many appliances taking up so much kitchen space. What if there was one appliance that replaces all of these that you'd be excited to use every day? Well, now there is. Introducing the all-new 8-in-1 Power XL